Good morning. Welcome to Build Day 28. We're getting started in the house today. It is just going on 7 o'clock. It's 32 degrees outside and it's still dark. Actually, it's starting to lighten up a little bit out there, but it's a little too early to be going out. I'm sitting here going through my mind, thinking of all the things I need to get done. And one of them is I gotta get the music together for the Q line. So I'm sitting here on my computer, just firing it up. And I gotta start going through, picking out music. I've got 4 or 5 songs I'm thinking about wanting to put on the Q line, and it's usually music I like to listen to, which is what everyone else likes to listen, or gets to listen to, or is forced to listen to. And I normally try, to get some upbeat music. I know in the past in the Q line we've actually had people dancing in the Q line depending on what song is on. Yeah, I gotta see if we can get that going again. It's nice having a Congo line out front. But anyway, while the sun's coming up and it's warming up outside, I figured I'd do some work on the computer. Like I said, getting Q-line music together. I also need to get all the videos together. We've got 5 projectors in the haunt this year. And I got to go through and make sure all the videos and stuff are working and what have you. That way I can get them uploaded onto flash drives and what have you, and just install them and hit play. Once it warms up and we move outside, for the build outside today, on the docket is getting that Hammering Clown area done and finished, and then moving into the courtyard. We've got to get it wired. So we'll be working on that. Breakfast of the day: peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and Lay's pickled flavored potato chips with a Coke to wash it down. So I think we've got everything going. I'm going to get to work pulling music, and we're going to get the day started. Okay, we made about an hour. Well, it's a little over an hour after I shot the opening clip. We made it outside. It's about 11 o'clock, 10:30, 11 o'clock, and the Hammering Clown is done. In fact, we're going to go wonky on the angle here.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now present for your entertainment the most magnificent super.
Okay, back to normal. Sorry about that. The hiss you heard was in there, that white thing in the barrel. That's a water blaster. It's hooked up to air, and for those of you not familiar with it, you can get a metal version of those. I believe from Fright Props had them. And they just hook up to air, fill it with water, and when the air goes off, it causes the water to erupt out of the barrel. The deeper they are, the louder bang they give too. You know, in the test video they had one sitting in the bottom of a 5-gallon barrel, or not 5-gallon, but 50-gallon barrel, and it sounded like a shotgun going off when it went off, and man did it throw the water. This is a more simplified version of the water blaster than what Fright Props has. You know, it's perfect for us home haunters. Pro haunters could probably even use them too, but I don't know. But anyway, she's all set and good to go. Working fine. You got the liner in. And then I've got a little pump sitting right down there. And the pond's full. Since I've got that water blaster in that barrel, it's going to be evacuating water out of the barrel at a fairly great rate. So that pump will take water from the pond and put it into the barrel. And when that thing's not going off, you get kind of a cascade of water over the side of the barrel and back into the pond. That's one way of keeping the barrel full. We made, just in case we have problems, all of our connections are right here by the fence where I can reach in and get to them without having to remove the fence, which makes it nice. But right now, I need to turn this over to Morgan. We got a disaster area through here and need to get it cleaned up. And she's my head janitorial person. So I'll get her out here to get that cleaned up for me. Do a little bit of a garbage run and we'll be ready to go. Now, since that is completed, the hammering clown is done. Our next step is right in here through the courtyard. Should be fairly simple and straightforward. I need to get some LED lighting on him. I need to get this hooked up. This is just like the ones in the courtyard. They have an RGB light strip inside, so I need to get that hooked up so it lights up. I need to put a couple of spots on this guy, as well as go around tuck cords. And then over here, I got 2 more carriage lights I gotta get hooked up, and I want a couple of spots on him. And I'll probably put a spot on that guy and a spot on that guy, possibly. I don't know. I don't want a electrical item that close to the sensor. I don't know. Gotta figure it out. But anyway, I gotta get that hooked up. That should take more than a couple hours to run the wiring and, you know, get everything hooked up. But we'll have to wait and see. You never know. Well, we've been back from walking Kaylee, or taking Kaylee for her afternoon walk, or should I say her taking us for our afternoon walk. About a half hour, 45 minutes. Right before we left, I got in here. We got all the lights and everything in the courtyard. So the courtyard is done. I do need to get in here yet and get all the lights and stuff aimed, and that I won't be able to do until tomorrow. I mean, tonight, not tomorrow, but tonight. Just remembered I forgot to vlog that. But we've been working over here in the cemetery, gypsy display. I've got the AC working, and right now we've got 3 things on the AC. We've got the teapot and the scrying bowl with an atomizer in it, and the lamp back there. So AC work is done. I'm running a 5-volt line now to power the lamp and the Ouija board that I picked up last year. And then once we get that done, it's into lighting. This one does get a control board in it to activate the lamp and the Ouija board. I don't know if I'll get to doing the control board today. So that'll probably be tomorrow. It takes a while to get everything lit. You know, like each of the heads, we've got 6 heads hanging up, 5 along the wall here and 1 back there. Each one of those gets 2 LED or 2 spots. You know, and I've got stuff like the skulls and floods here and there I need to put in. It'll take a while to get things wired, so I doubt highly I will get to putting the board in tonight and the hay in that display. But we're getting to the point where it's speeding up, thank God. Feels good to be done with pneumatics for a little while. The next set of pneumatics to do will be the spiders over in the spider display. But I have the gypsy display, the graveyard, and the photo hall to get done before that. So I'll get a couple of day break from doing pneumatic. Well, Sue just called dinner, so I'm gonna take my dinner break. But we're getting there, we're making progress. I got a 5-volt line ran to power the lamp and the Ouija board. They both work, they just need the brain box in here to trigger them. And I showed you the AC line earlier in the last segment. Those are working. I'm working on lighting now, and I got all my aerial LEDs up, the ones that go up on top of the walls. And then each head has 2 all the way down. I've got my main 12-volt line for the LEDs ran, and those are the only 2 I've got going in here so far. I still got to run along the top of the line and connect these as I get to them. Once I get those in, I need to drop a line inside the display to power the skulls, and that one there. And those are 12 volt, same as the LEDs. They're the lights in them are my puck lights, and those are all 12 volt. And then we're going to be putting some LEDs along the fence as well to do an upshot on some of the things in there, and I'll install and hook those up once I get the aerial stuff done and see what needs lighting. But right now it's getting the aerial stuff done, and I'll continue working on that after dinner. And like I said earlier, you know, we're going to get a good healthy start on the Gypsy display. I doubt highly I'll get it done. I definitely know I won't get the brain box in. Okay guys, just had the set dresser out here, and we were light testing the courtyard. I put flickering blue on him, which doesn't look too bad, and they're strobing it slightly different. And then this one we decided to set for yellow, and I dimmed it down. That's the nice thing with these RGB light strips on the inside. You can control the brightness of them too, as well as the color. And then we got flickering red there. And then green here for the lanterns. And then I did orange on the candelabras. Now, this is all the lighting I'm doing in here. Keep in mind, I'm going to have a projector there and a projector here. So that will brighten it up in here, and then plus I've got my bat and spider lights, which will be playing in here too. So should be plenty bright enough. Over here in the Gypsy, I got all my aerial lights installed. I think I mentioned that already. And I've got that head back there lit up. But the only other light I'm getting is out of the scrying bowl, the teapot, and that lamp. There are no other lights working yet. That's a key word. Now I'm going to go get my extension cord and my clamp light, get over there, and I'm going to see if I can get more of those heads lit up, and I'll brighten it up over there a little bit, I hope. Okay. I've been working in the Gypsy since after dinner. It's almost 9 o'clock. In fact, it is 9 o'clock. And I just hooked up my the last spotlight I did. I had to hook it up 4 different times because I kept mixing the wires up. You know, hot's supposed to go on hot and neutral's supposed to go on neutral. I was putting neutral on hot and hot on neutral. I did it 4 times in a row before I got it right. And I was like, okay, it's time to quit. If I'm making that sort of mistake, it's time to quit. I wanted to show you where we got though. We got all the aerial lighting done in the Gypsy. All the heads are lit up all the way down, and then over here on the table I've got a red light aimed over at the bush there, and I got a bird in the bush I need to fix. He fell over when I was back there and I didn't notice it. We got a blue light aimed at the table and 2 green spots, and it's that one right there that I hooked up 4 different times. He needs to be aimed. He's aimed the wrong way, but he's supposed to be hitting the fan. I also went through here on the fence, and I got all my lights mounted to finish off lighting the display. I will wire those up tomorrow. I've also got the 3 skulls there and the skull there to wire up. Plus, I have the brain box to put in and the hay. All in all, shouldn't take overly long. Maybe 2 hours at the most. 2 hours at the most. You know, and we'll just do that tomorrow. But I wanted to give you a look at, you know, what we've got going. So far, we've made pretty good progress in here today. You know, these lights, I love these lights. They save on electricity. It's so much nicer because you can do different color variations and stuff. Right now I'm pretty much sticking to my original colors, red, green, and blue. But all together, if I get into my Haunted Treasures stuff, and add that to the red, green, and blue, I've got 11 different colors of spotlights and floodlights I could use if I wanted to. But I just assume use my old stuff in the haunt, and then save the Haunted Treasures stuff for the special spots, special highlights and stuff. So, and the Gypsy display is one display. It's always been red, green, and blue. We mix it up. I think last year I had green spots on all the heads. This year we've got blue. Red we always use as an accent. So, but anyway, let me get cleaned up, things turned off, and we'll get you to your end of the day wrap up. Well, end of the day wrap up. And it's almost the end of my day. I still got an hour and a half worth of editing and uploading, maybe 2 hours depending on how much editing I need to do. Didn't do too bad today. Started out inside on the computer trying to get the Q-Line music put together, and ended up with 13 different songs for the Q-Line music. I need about 23 songs total. So I got a good start on it. Then I gotta get all edited and volume equalized, so everything's at the same volume level. And then I can get it over onto its flash drive and it'll be ready to go. Past that, we got out, we started off with that Hammer and Clown. I don't know what it is about that. I like that scene or that display in the haunt. I get a lot of squeals. A lot of people are freaked out by the hammer, and it's hilarious. Even the ones that aren't scared, they get up close to see the guy in the barrel, and that water blaster goes off. Geyser comes up. They get wet, and boy, do they scream when that water erupts out of that barrel. If the clown doesn't get them, that geyser does. But man, putting it together, liner in the pond, doing the pneumatics, God, it's a pain in the ass. Now, of all my pneumatics, that Hammer and Clown's the biggest pain. Excuse me, I burped. But anyway, we got that done. Moved into, it took us about 3 hours worth of work to get that Hammer and Clown display done. And then we moved in here into the courtyard, and the courtyard just flew through. It was really quick. So we got the courtyard done. I also got my bar. I'm not sure if you can see it or not. In the arch there's that wood bar that goes from side to side, just below the arch itself. That's the curtain rod. There's going to be a curtain hanging there so they can't see into the Gypsy. It's also one of my wire chases. In other words, I've got wiring going across there. I got it put in. Then we made it over to Gypsy, and we got all our aerial lighting done. We got the AC done. I've got probably 8. Let's see, I'm trying to think. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, about 8 more lights that need to be wired up down low on the fence, and then the 2 different skull plaques that need to be lighted up. Shouldn't take too long. That's probably about an hour job just to wire those up, if that. And then I got the 2 skulls to do, 2 skull plaques to do, plus the Scooby-Doo board, in other words, control box that needs to go in. And then hay, so I'm thinking maybe 2 hours at the most for that tomorrow. Pushing 3, maybe between 2 to 3 hours. And we'll have that display done, and then we'll be moving on over to the graveyard. So, not too terribly bad. We'll be into the graveyard tomorrow, definitely. And depending on how the graveyard goes, there's no pneumatics in the graveyard, but there's a lot of AC. All the mechanics on all the tombstones are AC. I got the lights in Mike Allen's coffins. There are AC. And then the chandelier in the mausoleum. Past that, it's all low voltage stuff in there, and there's a lot of low voltage stuff in there. That display. That will take up some time to wire up. But anyway, we should get the gypsy done. Hopefully get the graveyard done, and maybe, just maybe if we're lucky, we'll get into the photo hallway tomorrow and get the photo hallway at least started. I doubt highly that we'll get the photo hallway finished. That's another one. It's all low voltage in there. The only AC thing I've got, I do believe, is 2 of the light boxes and the fogger for the skull candelabra. Other than that, everything's low voltage in there. And there's a crap ton of low voltage. All the pictures, half the pictures are RGB light strips. And they all run on 12 volt. And then the regular pictures that are in there each get 2 LEDs. So those have to be wired. It's just a lot to do. So I doubt I'll get it done tomorrow, but we'll get a good healthy start on it, I have a feeling. Depends on how late I sleep in. I'm hoping I sleep in. I got up at 5 o'clock this morning, so I'm hoping I sleep in a little bit. But anyway, guys, I'm going to let you go in and edit and upload, and then I think I'm going to go to bed. See if I can make it to bed before 11 again. I was in bed by 10:45 last night. 15 minutes to 11. I went to bed 15 minutes early. If you want to call that early, because I've been going to bed in between 11 and midnight sometime by the time I get done editing and uploading this. But anyway, stay spooky, stay toxic.